Hi guys, today I'll be creating a tutorial on how to create a REST web service using Java. My IDE here is Eclipse, but I'm sure you can use any other IDE to do this. So let's get right to it. So first thing you want to do is create a new dynamic web project. And you can name this whatever you want. In my case, I will just name this IO tutorial. And you want to use a target runtime. In my case, I'm using Apache Tomcat v9.1. If you don't have this, you should install Apache Tomcat. And then, you can select the runtime you have here. But I think you already have this, so I go to next. In my case, I'm just going to hit finish. Now we have our project setup here. I have my web content. First thing you want to do is check this folder. And you want to add a web.xml file. So just go to other XML. You want to name this web.xml. Finish. So the content of your web.xml file should look something like this. However, first thing you want to change, in case you just like copying this, since I just showed this, you want to change the display name. We will be using this to navigate to our methods in the project, and we would want to add a URL mapping to go to the separate methods. So first thing I usually do is create a new package. In my case, say we have a package called methods. The package name could be anything. Usually, after creating a package, you want to have a URL mapping here, so you can navigate to it. So URL pattern and slash your package name. In my case, it's called method slash and then star. So you want to have your URL pattern like this, and then we'll save. Now that we have our web.xml file, we can then convert this project into a Maven project. So you want to go to configure, convert to Maven project. Here you can just hit finish, and the purpose of this is generated upon the XML file. So I usually like to open this with my text editor. Now for the pom.xml, you need to add your dependencies. There are several dependencies to use. In my case, I only need Jersey and JSON. So now I have my dependencies added into this. In my case, like I said, I'm using Jersey JSON for my project. So now let's get to creating our methods. Now in our method package, you can create a new class. In my case, I'll call my class say logic. Now when you get to your class, you want to specify a path to get to this class. As you remember, in our web.xml file, we already have a path that gets to this package. So we want to specify, we have to specify a path to this class. So add path, and then in my case, I just call it slash logic. Also, one of the things I like to do is keep everything lowercase. So when you're navigating to the URL, you can easily get to it, because this is actually case sensitive. So let's just create a very simple method that says hello world, or that says hello to a user. So our path to this, we'll name the function greetings. So slash greetings or greeting, which basically is a path, to navigate to the method. And it is a get, because we would be returning something to the user. And then our return type, in my case, I want to return JSON. So media type dot application JSON. Now we have all this. So since we will be taking in a parameter, in my case, like I said, so we have our method return response, public response, greetings, right? So we take in, say, one parameter. Now, say a path param, and we can just name this n, which is just for the user's name. So string name. All right, let's just do our imports here, and then okay. Now you'd want to return a JSON output. Oh, and one thing, since this is a path parameter, we have to specify in the greeting that the way to actually pass in the user's name. So since we already have a path to /greetings, you do / again, and then n, which is my parameter here, which navigates to the name of the user. So we have that. And for example, if you had multiple, you can just do / whatever that is, you know. So in my case, I'll be returning a JSON output. So I'm just going to create a JSON object. Simple JSON object, and let's import this. By the way, a shortcut to import is just Ctrl+Shift+O. So in my case, when the user enters their name, so if it just says string greeting is equal to hello plus name, very simple function, and we are just going to add this or put this into our JSON so we can return it. So a key, we can call this greeting, and then our value will be the greeting variable. And then we return this. Now status 200 is okay. Now I'll put that to string that viewed. And that's just a very simple function. So basically, in order to call this, we need to start our server. In my case, I already have a server here. So if you don't have one, I will show you how to create one. I'll just delete this. So like I said, if you have Tomcat installed, you should have this option. So just click here, very easy to create one. And I'm going to add my project into this, finish. Now we have to run this as a Maven build. The goal here is to clean install, because we need to do this. We're using dependencies. And the goal here is to actually have a build success, which we do have here. Now after that, we can go to a server, click on it, and start the server. In order to request anything from our service, we can easily just navigate to it. So in my case, I'm going to go to localhost 8080, and our project name, in my case, it's IO tutorial / we have a package methods, which we specified in the web.xml. If you do remember here, we said, the URL pattern is method / star, which means to go into everything here. Then we go into our logic, where we specify the path to logic. So here we have logic, and then our method name is greetings, or greeting rather, then /n, which is the name of the user, which we specified here as a path parameter, which is just the name. So in my case, I would enter my full name, and you hit enter, and as you can see, the result is greeting, hello, I am Itume. Of course, I usually don't like to use this, just my web browser. So I usually use this application called Advanced REST Client. I use this to send my request. So in this case, I'll just enter the same URL I entered into the web browser. Here, you send that, and you can see I like this because of the format it gives me. So we can do this over and over. I could give another example where our input is not a path parameter, but a query parameter. So let's just create a simple method that, say, tells us if a number is divisible by 2, if it's an even number or not. So public response is even. Now, in this case, we'll be using query parameter, a query param. That's how you specify this, and we pass in a number, in which case this is an integer. Now, same thing, we need to add, I guess, some sort of description to this. Now, the path to this is we just say it's even. Like I said, I like to keep it all lowercase, and let's not forget the slash. Now, whenever you're using a query parameter, you don't actually have to do a slash whatever again. You just need just a path directly to it. And it is a get, and our response, or what we produced rather, is JSON. Okay. So now we're just going to write our function. First thing is to create a JSON object for our output. So let's create a Boolean. Boolean is even, will be equal to, if a number is evenly divisible by 2, we return true, otherwise we return false. And that's what we want to return. So we just add this into our JSON output. So we call this is even, which basically just gives us our output in there. And we just return, this has to be the above. So it's 200 dot entity, and we put in our output that's a string, and we get it. And that's simply it. Now, same thing as before, we're just going to call our function using, so now I'm just going to go directly into using the REST client here. So in my case, I have logic, and all I have to do is actually just go to directly from, go into is even rather, sorry. And then for a query parameter, you use a question mark, and then you enter here in a query parameter, we say number. So number equal to, you enter your number. In my case, I enter 100. Send, it says it's even is equal to true. If I enter 101, it gives me false. So you can try other examples. Let me know if you have any issues actually running this, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Bye.